As I got older, the shame and the guilt, I called myself a prostitute all that time. I'd never heard the word exploitation until 2 years ago. Never heard of it. Whenever I didn't play the rules, they would tell me where my mother had been 2 days ago, what car she was driving, the registration of the car she was driving. Not making a direct, recordable threat. They're just saying, oh, I saw your mum at the garden centre yesterday. She's looking well. As a child or an adult who's in that world, you know exactly what that means. Although there's been some improvements and some recommendations over the last 40 years have actually been actioned, not enough of them have. I also want, in order to get the change, then society's view and community's view of people that are exploited and abused needs to change. And that can come top down and also bottom up. It has to be both. I want survivors to know that they're heard and believed and they have a voice. Just because you can't evidence anything because all the evidence has been destroyed doesn't mean that it didn't happen.
So I think this notion of community police, people being there, I get that. And then I wonder, is there, because there seems to be so many organisations, so many people who could have seen you, you talk about it being in plain sight, the fact that it is somebody else's job responsibility. So there is now a complexity in the people who could have spotted it, which actually meant
nothing got done. Nothing got done.
Do you think that is true? Because there isn't somebody doing it that everybody thinks somebody else is doing it.
I think for me, it's like people have said, oh, you know, well, we had a safeguarding officer. You know, like, you had one? Safeguarding is everybody's responsibility, not just the safeguarding officer that's done whatever course. Everybody's. Yes, there has to be a person you can go to who's got, you know, credentials and paperwork and whatever, and has the contacts and things like that. But it is everyone's responsibility. The staff that worked in those chip shops, that worked in those offices, that saw us going into private houses, the passers-by, taxi drivers. It's everybody's responsibility, and we have to get these conversations out to communities. We have to hold these.
So we don't need we need a building up of a community and not a fragmentation of it.